Welcome, everyone. Kevin and I back with another Financial 15, talking about CPP again. Lots of questions about the big pension plans in Canada. We're going to go through 4 misconceptions when it comes to CPP. Perhaps you have one of these as well. So lots of good information. You definitely want to stick around.
Yes, everybody has their own a view of what CPP is, how it works, what goes on, what is real, what is not real. We're going to give you those answers today on some of these topics. But if you want to find this video or any of the other ones we've ever done, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Lots of great content there. You'll really enjoy what you get to see. If not, also like us on Facebook or go to our website at beckerorr.com. There is plenty of stuff there, blogs, videos, anything we can help you out with. But today, we are going to tackle CPP and the misconceptions. There are a lot of them, aren't there, Clint? But we just want to deal with these big 4 that a lot of people will ask us all the time.
Yeah, the 4 main ones, at least the 4 ones we hear quite frequently. We'll tackle those, provide a little more information about CPP. And to give some context to our discussion, we have to tackle a bit of the basics here, Kevin. Just a quick once over, then we can get into the misconceptions. CPP, a reminder, it is a monthly taxable, fully indexed retirement pension for life. So you pay into it, and then when you start collecting, you get that monthly benefit for the rest of your life. The amount you receive, it is going to be dependent on the amount you put in. The more you contribute, the more you get out of it. And then what you contribute will be dependent on your income. These numbers do change every year, but for 2022, 5.7% of your income up to that 64,900 level, that's what you contribute. You make over 64,900 in 2022, you're going to put the max into the plan. If the employer matches that, so you put 5.7 in, they put 5.7 in, you're self-employed, you're going to have to do both pieces. So you end up with 11.4% of your income into CPP. So that's what you pay in. What do you get out of it, Kevin?
Yeah, some of the basics are the normal start age is 65. Of course, you can take it early at 60 or you can delay it till 70. But at 65, the maximum pension that you're allowed for 2022 is $1,253.59. So just over $1,250 is what the person would take on its max. But that's never what was normally the average. The average we usually get is around $702. That's what most people will take home at the age of 65 on average. Now, again, if you take it early, there is a penalty. That penalty is 0.6% a month. So if you take it at 60, it's a 36% reduction. And of course, if you take it 62, 63, those numbers will change. Again, if you delay it, though, you get a 0.7% bonus. So you can get 42% more if you hold off and wait till 70 from there. What you choose is going to be based on your financial situation.
Yeah, and we've done other videos on this where you talk about when to take CPP. We'll certainly link to those videos. But today is all about the misconceptions, trying to better understand what this pension is all about. So we'll get into misconception number 1 here, Kevin, is we know there's a big pot of money there. Everyone's paying into that big pot of money. And the misconception is, well, if I die, the government's going to keep that money. Is that the case?
No. Actually, that is not the case. The government does not own this money. This is money you've contributed into. So that's a big factor. Remember, if you pass away early, the government doesn't get it. This is not like some other pensions where it can go to an insurance company or something. This actually stays in the CPP plan itself. So if you die, you've got a spousal benefit. If your spouse is over 65, she will get 60% of what you get under a certain formula. And remember, you can never collect more than the max for one person. Also, if you have children under the age of 18 or 25 and in school full time, there's a flat benefit that goes to these people as well. And also at the end of the time frame, there is a CPP death benefit. But the big factor to remember is this is not government money. This is money you put in. This is money your employers put in. And this is money that the Canadian pension plan runs. So it will go back to the Canadian pension plan to benefit other Canadians.
And that's a very good point, right? So you have all these benefits. So you pass away, there's still some benefits that get paid out to your spouse, possibly to your kids, as well as a death benefit. Now you might be thinking, well, maybe those benefits aren't going to add up to all the money I've contributed over the years. And that is possible. Maybe you've contributed more than what's paid out through these benefits, but that money stays in the plan. It stays in the CPP program, and it's used to fund the benefits of other Canadians. It doesn't go to the government. It stays within the CPP plan, used for the benefits of other Canadians. So that's misconception number 1, that the money goes to the government. We've tackled that one. Let's move on to misconception number 2, and that's that CPP is not sustainable. I should mention both misconception number 1 and number 2. Often I hear those as arguments to take CPP early. The government's going to get the money. The plan's not sustainable. May as well take it as early as possible. And in my view, neither of these are accurate. They're both misconceptions. So you don't want that to influence your decision. So talk to us here about sustainability here, Kevin. The first thing you need to know is that pot of money, right?
Yes, that's the biggest one, is to know that the pot of money is there. Now, if we take a look, though, as of December of the end of last year, we were dealing with just over $500 billion sitting in the CPP pension fund. So again, that's $500 billion. We are not dealing with billions and millions here. So it is a large fund. It has a large amount of money in it, and that money is sustainable. So it is sustainable for a period of time, but on the actuarial reports recently done, it's sustainable for the next 75 years. So theoretically speaking, if you are anywhere near retirement right now, you will be covered by CPP going forward based on the amount of money that's there. It is a huge pot of cash that most people don't seem to realize is in existence.
Exactly. And that actual report, they go through those every 3 years. They get a full
Yep.
report done. And when the actuary looks at the plan, they use a 75-year time horizon. And the most recent report said they're fully funded over that time horizon. So a clean bill of health for the next 75 years. Well, that's a significant period in my mind. That certainly covers my lifetime and probably that of many
Yes.
others. But we're going to shift gears here a little bit. The first two misconceptions are really about people trying to take the money early because of these misconceptions. Yes. This third one's almost the opposite, right? People may be relying too much on CPP, thinking this pension is going to fund your entire retirement. And that's not really the case. In fact, that's not even the goal. That's not the way the program is built. I'll pull it up here so we can go through it. CPP, not designed to replace your entire income. The original goal of CPP was to replace 25%, just 1/4 of an average worker's salary. So not the entire amount. It was designed for 1/4 of the average. And now you can see in 2019, the government phased in some additional benefits, some additional changes. That's still happening. It's getting phased in over 7 years. They're going to bump up the amount you pay into the program. Your benefits will also increase. And by the end of this program and all these enhancements, you're going to end up with the goal of replacing roughly 1/3 of an average worker's salary. So it's never really designed to replace your entire income. So the idea that it'll fully fund your retirement, that seems unlikely. That's probably a misconception. Would you agree, Kevin?
Yeah, I would. I mean, that's basically, as you've mentioned, this was never the goal to be able to fund you in retirement completely. It was to aid in whatever you were doing there and to help you along a little bit. And as we've seen over the last little while, based on the 25% movement, they want to get to 1/3. Now, I can't see us going any much more higher than that, just based on government debts and things along those lines. But what you want to make sure is that you're giving some people some money to help out with their retirement situation. But please never rely on CPP as your only scenario, because as we've said, this is not sustainable if you are looking at that just to survive on.
Yeah, let's think of it as a complement, right? Of course, you need a financial plan. We always tell people you need a plan, but you view this as a complement to your plan, not the sole source of income, right? You have to have
That's
other
exactly it.
factors as part of your retirement. Can you rely on CPP as a complement? Absolutely. We just said it's fully funded and very sustainable, but for the entirety of your retirement income, probably not realistic.
Yep.
Moving on to misconception number 4, different angle here, but often here people don't even bother with CPP. So, I didn't work for a period of time there. I was raising kids or whatever the reason is. And they use that as a way to dismiss CPP. I'm not even going to bother. It's going to be so small. And I would encourage folks, it's probably going to be higher than you think for a couple of reasons. And we'll get into them here. The first one, to understand CPP, this isn't exactly how it works, but if you view it as an average of your contributions and pensionable earnings from 18 until you start collecting, it's not exactly how it works, but it's a pretty good estimate. It'll give you an idea and it'll help you understand how the formula works if you view it as a large average. Now, we'll go through a few details here. I'll pull this up for here, Kevin. There's a contributory period. Then you have all these dropouts that help increase your benefits. What's this about?
Yeah. And as you mentioned to start with, you will collect something if you've ever worked between the ages of 18 and 65. Right. You've contributed there somewhere down the line. So there is money that's going to be coming to you. Small or not, there's something that you're going to get out of it. So it is worth considering. But yeah, as we've mentioned, the contributory period is between 18 and when you basically start collecting. So if it's 60, we're talking the age of, or 42 years of work. 65, you're talking 47. But there are dropout clauses, years that don't have to count against what's been going on. One is child rearing. If you've been out of the workforce and raising a child to the age of 7, these periods drop out. They are not counted towards what's going on. And also, CPP has a disability formula as well. So if you become disabled while working, CPP is going to pay you a CPP disability benefit, and these are removed from the formula when calculating. And then, of course, there's the general dropout rule. It's roughly 17%. So if you take it at 60, you're looking about 7 years. If you take it at 65, you basically get to eliminate 8 years that are low that won't count towards your contributory period.
Yeah, and all of this, when you drop those years out, think of it again like a big average. So you take the low earning years out, whether it's for childbearing, CPP disability, or the general dropout provision. You take the low numbers out of that average, the average gets bumped up, so you end up with a higher benefit, right? That's the end result here. So we're saying even if you didn't contribute a lot, these dropouts could help bump up your numbers, and it's still certainly worthwhile to take your CPP, or at least to investigate the details there. And this leads us to some tips. We covered the 4 misconceptions, a couple of tips to encourage everyone. Get your statement of contributions. As you approach retirement, that number becomes far more meaningful because it's an estimate of what you've paid into the program. Actually, it'll tell you what you paid into the program and give you an estimate of what you could collect at various ages. So the statement of contributions is important. And in order to get the statement of contributions, you're probably going to want to have your My Services Canada account set up. It's an online account that you can set up with the government, which allows you to log in and access all these services, as opposed to doing it by phone. You can do it by phone, but let's be honest, that's a good afternoon on the phone right there, a couple of hours
when you're
to
stuck.
get that statement of contribution. So the online portion, probably the best. And I think, Kevin, these different misconceptions kind of highlight, in my view, the importance of a financial plan, right?
That's the biggest one. Again, all of these things are important to know: what's good, what's not, what's a misconception, what's reality. But none of it matters if you haven't put your financial plan together, and how CPP is going to fit into your financial plan in retirement, and how it's going to help funding. Is it funding a quarter? Is it a bonus that you're getting beyond what you're going to need? All these things need to be listed, and a financial plan is going to help you to do that. Now, if you have any more questions for us on this topic or any other, please feel free to contact us at clintonandkevin.com. We are more than happy to answer any more questions on misconceptions you might have on CPP, because there are more than 4, but these were 4 of the highest ones we wanted to get out there, or anything else that you feel is worthwhile. Other than that, I think that's what we're going to solve today for CPP. We will be back again with more entertaining videos coming down the road, but otherwise, I think that's it for today.
That sounds good. Take care. Stay safe. We'll be back again soon.